Okay, people, it is Wednesday, August the 2nd. The time is 8:15 in the evening. It's currently 25 degrees Celsius, but feeling like 30 degrees with the humidex. Although there's a nice breeze right now, so to me it doesn't feel quite that humid. We'll see how it goes as the walk continues on, though. And I'm on the corner of Carlton and Jarvis, and I'm heading west along Carlton Street. And we're about a half an hour or so away from sunset. So I thought I would walk us into sunset here in the sort of midpoint part of downtown Toronto. I like to think of this part of downtown as being not the southern end and not the northern end. It's just the sort of in-between part. South of Gerrard, I would consider the south end of downtown. North of Wellesley, I would consider the north end of downtown. So this is somewhere in between. I don't think there's an official name for this part of downtown. So I'll just call it the Midpoint. So I'm just going to walk us up and down some streets here in this part of downtown as sunset approaches. I'll probably do a bit of zigging and zagging. I think my final destination is actually just up ahead at the Loblaws store at the corner of Church and Carlton. But of course I'll extend the walk around the area and come back here again to end things off. Hence the zigging and the zagging. And this part of downtown doesn't really have a focal point. If you think about it, the southern end of downtown has Yonge Dundas Square and Union Station and the financial district and the whole entertainment area around the South Core and the CN Tower. The north end of downtown has Yonge and Bloor and the Yorkville area and the Mink Mile, of course. I think the only thing this part of downtown has that is noteworthy is perhaps the Church Wellesley Village. The part of it that runs south of Wellesley, that is. It does extend north of Wellesley as well. And maybe the old historic Maple Leaf Gardens here where the Loblaws is located.
Oh yeah, I forgot what you're doing.
And then I suppose College Park could be lumped in there.
Yeah, my parents named my name. They all named me Brian. They're all the fucking guy. Brian Matthews is just fuck.
So look south down Church. So I'll try to get a little bit of all the most well-known streets in this part of downtown in this walk, plus a few lesser-known side streets. So obviously, along with Carlton here, the other well-known streets are Yonge and Bay and Church. and College, actually, which continues on west of Yonge from Carlton, where Carlton ends. Looks like something is finally filling up this spot, although I would have preferred something a little more interesting, but I guess it's better than a vacant spot that's been empty for quite a while now. I noticed those INS stores are popping up all over the place now. The Carlton Holiday Inn. And this part of downtown does have its own theater complex here, the Carlton Cinema. It's sort of like an old school multi-screen theater, 90s style, with the smaller auditoriums. And I always have to check out this view of the Aura here. Of course, the southern end of downtown has the big Cineplex at Yonge and Dundas, and the northern part of downtown has a Cineplex inside the Manulife Center. So all parts of downtown do have their own theaters, if that's your cup of tea, if you're a regular moviegoer. There's College subway station. And here is Yonge Street. Maybe I'll cross here and then we'll continue west along College Street across the way. Pretty lively downtown tonight. So there's the College Park complex, kitty corner.
Really hard us.
I might come back and explore some of that alleyway a bit later on, or as I like to call it, Strally. It has characteristics of both a street and an alley.
Yeah.
You know what they say?
Here's the Toronto Police Headquarters. It's always kind of irked me that the sign still says Metropolitan Toronto Police Headquarters, although that's not the proper name of the force anymore. That harkens back to the days pre-amalgamation when Metropolitan Toronto was a two-tiered municipality. And the police was named as such. Now it's just simply the Toronto Police Service. After the amalgamation, they just haven't bothered to change the sign on the building. Here's Bay Street. So we got some live music over towards College Park. I'm not going to go much further west on College. I'm going to start what will eventually be my zigging and zagging. I am enjoying the nice breeze walking in this direction though. That massive old building is the Canadian Blood Services.
It's like great, like brown YouTuber.
Guy was talking about a YouTuber. Definitely wasn't talking about me. Haha. Alright. There's the Mars complex over there. So let's head up here to Grenville Street. There's Women's College Hospital. So this is just a quiet side street along Grenville here. Something's cooking here at Nando's. For a second I thought it was closed, but then I realized no, it's open, which explains the cooking smells. And we're back at Bay.
Writing the journal of bloom.
And here's the other side of the Toronto Police Headquarters. It's actually a pretty cool looking building. I believe this parking structure here is slated to eventually be replaced with some new affordable housing towers. Those were approved a long time ago, but nothing has really happened yet there on that site. I think there'd be a bit more urgency to get things like that built.
I want you to be,
There's that Strally I passed by earlier, looking at it from the other direction. And it does continue north for quite a ways, although this next section is past this construction site, so it's not the most pleasant section to be walking through right now. I'll just head over to Yonge, and then we'll just take a quick jaunt up a short part of Yonge Street.
तू है कहाँ?
And such is life in Toronto, where you have to walk on the street when the sidewalks are blocked due to construction. mentioned earlier that an INS store was filling up a vacant spot on Carlton Street, and another INS store is moving into one of these new retail spaces at the base of this residential tower. Once again, I suppose it's better than an empty space, but how many INS stores do we really need? Alright, let's head over to that Strally again. And it actually has a name, St. Luke Lane. And we'll head over to Bay Street again. The zigging and the zagging continues. Here's a new park that opened up recently, Dr. Lillian McGregor Park. And I'll try not to capture that dog doing its business. There's actually a dog park right here. Obviously, with all these towers, the population density is very high, and downtown Toronto dwellers in small condo units and apartments love their dogs. So they're scads of dogs. Almost every other person seems to have a dog. We're back at Bay Street. So we'll walk up Bay to Wellesley, which, as I mentioned, is what I consider to be the sort of dividing line that will bring you into the north end of downtown. So we won't go past Wellesley, since this is a midpoint of downtown walk. I did start at Carlton though, when I could have started at Girard, which is like the southern end of the midpoint of downtown.
Whatever is like the 6 feet that they're talking about. But
Yeah, so here's Wellesley. And I'll start walking east along Wellesley.
because they still haven't cleared everything. So my dad goes, "That's still my He's like, Mom is not in the property. Like, if she's if there's no
Oh, okay, no, wait, yeah.
I will give them 6 feet, but they're going to give me 6 feet.
And now I can definitely feel that humidity. It took a while. I didn't think it was so bad at first, but I'm definitely feeling the effects now. A shower will definitely be required once I get back home. Here's the park from the other side.
He wears the grandpa.
And more construction. This will actually be a very tall tower. And it's starting to get dark. And we're back at Yonge Street.
No, we'll take that.
Here is Wellesley subway station. going to be coming into the southern half of the church Wellesley Village, as I mentioned earlier. Wellesley sort of cuts through the center of the village.
So
And just about at Church Street, so I'm going to head south on Church. And as I said at the beginning of the video, that will take me back to almost where I began. Here we are, church in Wellesley. This will take me straight down to my ultimate destination, which is the Maple Leaf Gardens Loblaws. And the village is usually lively on most evenings. Of course, they came through here during Pride, on the day of the big Pride parade, and it was a complete pandemonium, human gridlock. I have a video of myself trying to make my way through the crowds of people.
That's it up. Oh, is it up?
A brother?
And once we go south of Wood Street, things die down a bit. And the nice breeze is back. It went away for quite a while there. Crossing Alexander Street. It's kind of like letting us know we're either leaving or entering the Church Wellesley Village, depending on which way you're going. We are leaving it. Wood Street. And here is the Maple Leaf Gardens building. Of course, this massive structure takes up half of the block here. And the best thing about going grocery shopping in the summer is, of course, the air conditioning. I just have to pick up a few things, though, nothing major. And it's a pretty quick walk home from here, less than 10 minutes walk. Back at Carlton again. And Gerrard Street is just a bit further south. But I'm going to end things here at Carlton and Church. The Loblaws. So I hope you enjoyed the heading towards sunset walk around the midpoint of downtown Toronto. I don't know what else to call it, really. It's not the south end, it's not the north end, it's the part of downtown in between. So I hope you enjoyed the walk. Got some zigging and some zagging. And leave a comment down below if you did enjoy or if you didn't. Either way, a comment is always good. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss any of my videos, and if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal, as well as via my merch store. And there's also a super thanks button right down below if you'd like to support the channel that way. And you can find me on Instagram under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and be sure to keep checking back because, as always, I will continue.